Trash Talk Radio, coming to you live on MP3 from high on a hill above beautiful Lake Washington. My name is Lestro, and with me as always is the Guru.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
And you know how this goes. We're here to talk a little trash on the week's worth of sports. I don't know anybody except the Guru, and the Guru knows all.
Man, I know just a little something, man. Just a little something, man.
Guru, it is episode number 59, and Adam Silver in the NBA has reasserted itself as the Philadelphia 76ers traded for Jimmy Butler. You know we're going to get into this one. How are the teams affected? Is this the end of the process? And is it enough to get Philly a parade? Then, Le'Veon Bell is taking the year off, Guru. What does it mean for him, the Steelers, and the CBA as a whole? Plus, we've got Guru's Week 11 preview with the Rams versus the Chiefs. The Vikes head to Chicago, the struggling Eagles head to New Orleans, and the Redskins and Texans battle in a matchup of division leaders. Then in segment 2, it's Guru's Week 10 call-outs and shout-outs, our Bets with Ben segment with Ben Carey from the Currency Kings, and you know we got a 2-minute drill. Guru, Trash Talk Radio, episode number 59.
Let's roll.
Ah, man, it is good to see you again. How are you doing, my friend?
Man, I am living the dream. Don't you pinch me, man.
You looking good, my man. Looking good. Got all trimmed up. Got the hoodie off.
Hold up, man. Don't tell my dirty secrets, man. I was on my PNW look, man.
That's what I was going to say. I'm growing the beard. As you know, it's a law here in the Pacific Northwest. You have to once a year if you want to stay in the area.
Yeah, the Guru tried it, man, but I can't get it to connect, though, man. I can't get it to connect, though.
See, that's you telling your dirty secrets, brother. That's not me telling them. So, Guru, how was your weekend? Because mine was absolutely crazy when the news of this trade broke.
Man, to tell the truth, I took a bye week this weekend, man.
No kidding?
The Guru took a bye week. You know, I chilled the wife, and we just sat there and just watched a movie all damn Sunday. So the Guru phone was off. I'm like, everything was off. So the only thing I know was everything I read and got the highlights. But the Guru still watched the film, baby.
Gotta watch the film.
Still watch the film, man.
Guru always watches the film, man.
NFL Field Pass, baby. Send that check that I pay you guys, man. Send me that check.
Right? Send it back.
Send back that check up, baby.
Back that check up. Well, Guru, we're going to get into it right away here because my weekend was thrown completely off kilter on Saturday when news of the Jimmy Butler trade.
The Butler and the brotherly love. The Butler is coming to the city of brotherly love, baby.
Guru, I got so much to say about this. Look at this fucking page of notes. I got so
when
much
that
on
happened,
this,
I didn't
man.
even want to talk to you. I'm like, we're going to save all this for the show.
Oh, man.
I don't want to waste that, man.
So you want to start with my version of this or with your version?
Your version.
Okay, so as you know, I'm a Sixers fan, right?
Oh, really?
Right, obviously. 10-9-8-76ers.
59 episode or 58 episode later.
So I'm a process-trusting Sixer fan as we go into this. And I got to tell you, man, this one hurts. This one hurts. Now, as far as trades go, this is Jimmy Butler for Robert Covington, Dario Saric, the ghost of Gerard Bayless. Gerard Bayless is a shattered corpse, and a 2022 second-round pick or something. As far as the trades go, I got to tell you, it's a pretty good one on paper. Like the math works out. It comes out in our favor. Like Jimmy Butler going for just Covington and Saric, that's kind of amazing. The fact of the matter is, though, that, man, I love me some Robert Covington and I love me some Dario Saric. Those guys have been there for the past couple of years. We've been watching them play, been watching them grow. Covington, to me, is like, aside from Embiid, if any one player embodied the process, it's Covington. This is a D-League guy, now the G-League, an undrafted free agent that they plucked out of nowhere. Sam Hinkie plucked out of nowhere. Last year he won. He was on the NBA All-Defense first team. This is a guy on a great contract. Sarge is on a great contract. This one hurts. This is just it hurts, and I don't know if it's worth it.
So you telling me Now, let me just simplify this for you, right, Mr. Lestro.
Okay, bring it
Philly
on.
Love. You're telling me you just give a whole rant on how you love Robert Covington,
Rocco.
who's whatever, third team all and defense, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then you coming out with a guy that's first team.
I know.
You coming out with a guy that's better defender than the guy that's leaving, better offensive contributor than the guy that's leaving. I mean, I don't know about on paper, but also in my eyes, intangible, everything I see, I smell, look like this is a highway robbery. This look like one of Mayweather's heists.
This almost is a Mayweather
This look
level
like
heist.
we're one of Mayweather's heists. And that's what I think you're confused a little bit. You know, I think you can really realize how, because you're like, really? Really? Hold up.
There's something to that.
Is this, no way. This is, what the Sixers, this don't supposed to happen to us.
That's
You know?
exactly right,
This
though.
don't supposed to happen. How do we look, how are we all of a sudden the smarter organization than everybody else?
Yeah, see, now this gives the 76ers 3 of like the top 20 players in basketball, you know, with Embiid and Simmons and Butler on the floor at the same time. That's impressive. The only other team that can stack a lineup like that right now are the Warriors. The Dubs are the only ones that can put together like 3 of the best players in the NBA in a single lineup. But it also puts the Sixers in win now mode, man.
No,
you don't think so?
No, man.
Because I think, I got to tell you, this is the other thing about this. Jimmy Butler's coming at the end of contract. If he doesn't re-sign or they don't get a parade, this feels like a waste to me. Because I don't think the Sixers needed Jimmy Butler.
Do you are the process guy. You are the Sixers, right?
Yeah.
The process is not defeating Golden State. That's not the process.
That's true.
No, the process is not, I want to defeat Golden State.
That's true. The process is to put yourself in a position to win multiple championships over a series of years.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not about a now situation.
But the question, with Jimmy Butler, it is because of his contract.
Oh, with Jimmy Butler is, you know what this is now? Is because what the process is, you got to go in the playoff and learn and get beat and come back. Every team.
We did that.
Every team, that's the first stage.
Yeah.
You still got to now you got to go to the finals and lose.
See, I agree with this.
Those are the steps you have to go through. This right here
I totally agree.
Is the process of losing. Like I picked you, we know it on TTO. I picked the Sixers to go to the finals.
Right.
I've been saying they got the best with the length. I've been saying this for a couple of years now. They basically last year and a half, they were built to take over and beat after Golden State.
Right.
That's what I've been saying. So that's what they want to do. But before you do that, they got to get defeated by Golden State. That's what this year is going to be. And that's going to give that hunger. That's what the process, that taste.
But do you see Butler staying? I mean, that's,
of course.
Because that's
Where's
the question.
he going?
Well, that's the other
Where's
issue.
he going?
Yeah. Now,
of course.
The problem with that is if he stays, then the question becomes, how can they pay him the supermax? Will they make it work? What happens to other guys? But I agree with you. I think the Sixers were built to win, and I don't think they needed to make this move except in a win-now move.
No,
because I think next year with the team they had last year, they're there. That was the best starting 5 in the NBA.
They needed a guy like Jimmy. He fits the city of Philly.
Oh, that's
He's
so true.
the gritty. He's the epitome of Philly.
I got that too.
He fits that. So everything smells good. You know, when I told you last week, I don't know how to be around Calvin, so if I can smell shit, you know, and I don't got to be around a pretty woman to be like, oh, something smell good.
Yeah.
You know when something smell good. This right here smell really good.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, because the issues with Jimmy Butler are very real. What has happened in Chicago, what has happened in Minnesota, coming into this locker room, I'm not sure, and I want to be clear that I think this makes us a contender. I think this makes us a better team on the floor. The basketball being played with Jimmy Butler will be better. He is what the team needs. He's the shooter they need. He's the creator they need. Somebody on the wings. This fits on the floor very well. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if it fits in the locker room. You know, like Jimmy Butler is not necessarily known for being the kind of veteran leadership that a rookie squad like Embiid, Simmons, and Markelle need.
No, those days are over. That rookie nonsense, those days are done. They're not a rookie no more.
That's it.
No, they're not. They're no.
But they're still young.
Yeah, exactly. You can say young, but you can't use rookie.
That's true. None of them are rookies.
You can't use that no more. They went and they were playoff tested. Or they no rookies. You don't call Jason Tatum a rookie no more.
No.
You don't do that. So there's no way Simmons and B, they're no rookies. They're young guys ascending basically in their star prime time right now.
But
Jimmy Butler is the perfect glue because you need what they're lacking now is that tough dog presence. That's what they're lacking.
And he is that, man.
I don't think the locker room has this is weird. That locker room don't have any tensions. They don't have any situation. You don't hear anything crazy coming from that locker room. You could tell they love each other. You could tell it is a brother type of situation because they all been through something. And one thing they all have is each other to rely on. They all have some, it could be injury, it could be this. Everyone has been through something in the Phillies locker room that everybody said, no, they're not this. Now they use all that as far as the brotherhood.
It's that shared process years that, Covington went through and Sarge was there for a few years. Is Butler coming into that change that?
No, it fits it because what Butler is looking for is for the process of trying to win a championship. That's why he left Minnesota. He felt that process wasn't working.
That's true.
That's why he's like, you know what? You guys don't have what it takes. They didn't fit that. That's it. Minneapolis don't fit Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler fit in Chicago. He fits in Philly. That's a Jimmy Butler type of cities, man.
I agree, man. And you said it. He is exactly the kind of player that Philadelphia fans fall in love with, man, on any sport. He's a dog. He gets in there and plays. He cares. He's passionate. He gives his all. He plays defense. He's got the skills. The question is, though, this is Joel Embiid's team. Do you think Butler is going to try and snake that in any way?
No, Butler's no.
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 You don't think he's got to be the guy in the front?
That's the thing. Butler's no. That's the thing about Butler. You can say what you want to say. The thing is, he's going to play hard. He's going to give you everything you got. He's not out there. And Joel Embiid play hard. He has issues with guys that don't play hard. He had issues with Chicago with what's them getting different type of treatment. Dwayne Wade and all those guys. Like he's just looking like, dude, I want somebody who could ride and grind with me. Mm-hmm. He's over there with Cat and those guys. They're prima donnas. He didn't like that. Now we know what Joel is. We know what Ben is. They got some dogs out there. That whole chemistry fits them. It's just like it's a perfect match. Just like when the Seahawks, for example, had Sherman and Wagner and all those guys, even though it was a boisterous locker room, but it was a perfect match. With Mike B, it was just a perfect mix at the perfect time. And you guys have that opportunity right now to win. I want to say I only see 2 championships, but you guys have that ability to get that 2.
So the question then becomes, is this enough to get out of the East this year with Kawhi and the Raptors just killing it, with the Celtics who are a little bit struggling but completely stacked and super deep, and the new look Bucks with Giannis putting up MVP numbers? Is this enough to get past the East, and then is it enough to get past the Warriors?
Yeah, no, of course. No one is going to get past the Warriors.
Now KD.
No, with the KD, the ultimate weapon. This is their last hurrah. That's it, and it's over. Now I've been saying that. No one is going to beat the Warriors, bro. Everybody knows that. There's nothing they could do. KD is in Golden State. There's nothing anyone could do till KD leaves.
But this puts the Sixers in that elite class where they can get past Kawhi and the Raptors and Kyrie and the Celtics and Giannis and the Bucks.
Exactly, because now Joel could be and would be the best on the court, and now he have two Robins.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, he's having an MVP kind of year. So the other question on the Sixers that this comes down to, and this is sort of a larger issue, is Jimmy Butler's known for calling dudes out. Jimmy Butler's known for yelling at folks. How do you think this will affect Markelle Fultz, who missed essentially all of last season with a case of the yips? And what do you see going on with Markelle here now? Because he's obviously going to fall out of the starting lineup with Jimmy coming in. So what do you see happening with Markelle here, Guru?
There's something serious going on with Markelle here, man. I think they're not really showing the magnitude of this little Yips situation. As far as
do you think it's the yips or do you think it's an injury? Do you think it's some combo of the both? Or
I think I think they're both together.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a combination of both. And the Guru always. You might think the Guru is always far fetched here. You might think the Guru is always stretching here. You might think the Guru is always just talking. But there's something to say about it, Markelle Fultz, man. The Guru is about the horoscope. I like the signs, man. I like to see a little different. And now Markelle is a Gemini, born March 29th.
May
29th, 1998.
Yeah, you sent me this link. I pulled it up
Yeah.
here so I can look at it.
May 29th,
Yep.
1998, right?
Yeah.
And then Lester is not a
Baby.
fan of the horoscope, right? So now, I'm a fan of the horoscope. I told this to Lester. So, Lester, what is, as a Gemini, right?
Yep.
At his age, at his date of birth, right? What is his ailment as far as health situation?
The health astrology, according to this page that you said, says Gemini natives have, for May 29th, 1998, his birthday, Gemini natives have a horoscope predisposition to suffer from illnesses and ailments related to the area of the shoulders and upper arms. A few of the possible illnesses and diseases are listed below, plus a chance to suffer. He's got muscular pains of various areas, possible carpal tunnel, brain chemistry imbalances that are considered to be one of the first causes to contribute to mental illness, and shoulder pains that are caused by an injury or disease of the shoulder joint. And you know what, man? I got to tell you, that gets a little too close for comfort. I'm just saying, that is right on the nose.
I'm saying with this little chemical mental imbalance, that's what I'm saying. There's something deeper with that. Obviously, if people don't know what the Yips is, it's when you have the ultimate nervous, that you're so extremely, extremely nervous that you forget.
Right, that subconsciously
you
you can't do something.
You can't do nothing. Like
Yeah.
it just don't exist. It disappears.
Now, we see this in sports from time to time. The one I'm most familiar with, the most famous in my mind, is Chuck Knobloch of the Yankees. This is a guy that played baseball for years and
remember
years
my
and
man
years.
Chuck.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, a second baseman could not throw to first. If you remember, he'd field the ball and throw it past first base over and over, and it was just a mental, could not find the first baseman. Markelle seems to have the same problem with his shot. It's awkward.
See, the thing that gets me to it,
If you
too,
saw that foul shot this week,
you
oh,
saw the thing.
God.
The thing, though, you got to see the the transition here, right? With him, he has the mental thing because there's now it's coming out. There's some type of mental situation going on, right? And the carpal tunnel situation. That's your hands with your fingers, right?
Yeah.
So
Your wrists and hands.
So now you shoot. What do you shoot with? Your wrist and your
Wrist
hand.
motion.
All right. So now what do you envision? Is your brain and envision? All that is what you think about before you see it go in, right? But if you don't have the same regularity because of the Yips and what your situation is on him being May 29th, 1998, guys. So
Dead
on. So you can see why at that free throw, all of those things came out once. Because he really thought, I heard the interview, he really thought, he's like, something was his brain.
It slipped.
It slipped.
It slipped.
Really, it did. It's just the whole carpal tunnel situation and his mind all chemically out of whack. And it's that, basically what I'm saying, it's a bigger issue here than basketball.
Can it be helped? Is Markelle Fultz a lost cause? Is he the kind of guy? I mean, he's the number one draft pick. Now, this is so absurd to see this happen to the number one draft pick. Now, some guys don't pan out the way you'd hope. But dude can barely play at this point, he's aggressive on the ball, and I like that. And he's making good passes.
That's what his sign says.
Ain't got
He's
no
aggressive.
shot right now, though.
It's
That's why we drafted him, was for his shot.
The thing with this type of situation, it's not no medicine he could take. It's not like you just take a pill and all of a sudden everything comes back. It's just he just got to work through it. Just got to work through it, man. And hopefully the Sixers will figure something out, but
they're giving him every possible chance, Guru. Every possible chance to get better. The Sixers are giving it because they have so much investment. They can't even trade him at this point. He's there. He's on the team.
I mean, the Yips comes from also some type of traumatic situation, dude. I don't know what kind of something traumatic that happened or whatever, but this is the worst case I've seen in an athlete.
Yeah, and in basketball especially.
Yeah.
I have never seen anything like this.
This is the worst case I've seen in an athlete, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm hoping he comes back around. I don't know what's going on from here, but I'm glad to hear that you think the Sixers are legit now, and I'm glad to hear you think Butler is staying. I don't know if they give him the supermax. I'd like to see him stay for a couple years. I'm a little concerned about the fact that his age and his injuries, and 5 years from now, Jimmy Butler is not a guy I necessarily want to be paying $30 million. You know what I mean? To play. That said, for the next couple of years, I'll pay him whatever he wants because I need to get a parade.
So you get 3 Eastern Conference championships.
Bring it. That's what we want. Yeah, put us in position. That's what the process was about. The longest view in the room in order to put yourself in the best position to win multiple championships. And my question on this is whether or not it's the longest view in the room, and I haven't quite settled yet because it feels like Covington and Saric on their contracts as assets and what they can do is a longer view.
No,
that said, those guys being traded for Butler is amazing.
That was a process. You
Yeah,
build
that's
them
it.
to create the asset
That's
to
exactly
get bigger
right.
assets.
Yep.
That is a process.
That's exactly it.
You know, now instead of just trade, because the assets used to be the draft.
Yep.
Now the assets, now we already got the draft settled. Now we got to get the assets to be the superstars.
Yeah. I just,
It's the process 2.0, man.
It just hurts me.
It's the process 2.0. Just live with the new type of process,
hurts
man.
me in my heart, man. All right, so from one side of the Keystone State to the other, Guru, let's transition here and talk a little bit of football because the other big news.
Talk a little bit of what?
A little bit of football.
That's going on. Thank you, Adam Silver. Damn, son.
Taking everybody's fucking thunder. So the other question here is this week, the big news story, especially coming out of Pennsylvania, is that Le'Veon Bell is not reporting for the Steelers. Essentially, he's taken this year off. That means they can't trade him. He's not going to get paid, but he's free at the end of the year, right? So the question I guess I have for you, Guru, is this a smart move for Le'Veon? And how do you think it affects the Steelers?
If you could take a whole year off of work and still got that bag, it's a hell of a move for you.
But you think he gets the money next year?
He's gonna get the money. He's gonna get the money. It's kind of difficult to look at this because there's two sides, really, really two sides. And depending on your life experiences, I guess, on which side of the spectrum you come from, it's hard to choose. The Guru I'm on both sides of the fence. I'm about the organization and the big business, and I'm also about the player, But most importantly, I'm also more about the player in a sense because the player is a business. So it's two businesses going against each other. You see, that's the difference. People looking at it as a player going against a team. No, it's a negotiation between two businesses, dude.
Fascinating.
It's like, dude, why the fan? That's what upsets me about people sometimes. It's not the fandom is so ridiculous. Le'Veon Bell is a brand. He is a business. He is not a player. Off the field, he's a brand. It's the brand going to negotiate a deal just like any other business negotiate contractual situation.
So the question becomes, was this a good business decision? Because Le'Veon Bell...
Damn right. Because he's a commodity. He's valuable. They want him. He's needed. The market makes him valuable. Right now he's winning because he's young and he does what he does. Because if he's play like this, if he was Samarji Pirine, some name you don't even know.
Right.
What would happen? Would anybody give a shit?
If he could play like he could, then we'd know the name.
Exactly. Because Le'Veon, because he does well with his business, he grew his business up by working hard and doing what he's doing.
Okay,
now.
So here's my question on this then. What I mean by is it a good business decision is that Le'Veon Bell took a year off and James Conner is actually performing at the same level or better, and Le'Veon's agent says that he wants to be paid as a franchise quarterback. How is he going to get that money next year? Now, it's good for him to take a year off. Guys, especially football players who can survive a year off and then play, it extends a career, it works well. Injuries actually help in a way like that. Le'Veon doesn't even have an injury. This is even the best case scenario on this. But does it matter? I mean, James Conner has...
Dude, it's easy. You know why? Because Le'Veon, he don't want to be in Pittsburgh. I'm not going to be in Pittsburgh.
Smart people don't want to be in Pittsburgh.
Dude, he don't care. It could be, Conner, bro, player to player, the player don't hate in the locker room because it's all about you eating. It's all about every player getting that bread, because every player knows they are a brand. They are a business. So right now, it's James Conner's chance. Le'Veon knows he got 31 other teams. There's 31 other teams that will say yes to Le'Veon, bro. He knows that because of how valuable he is. He knows that. So just because one person said no, guess what, bro?
But do you think he hurt his value by showing that James Conner can perform at the same level?
No, because you know why? Guess what? Nobody else is going to have a James Conner.
No.
Yeah, because if he's performing at a level that other teams that have running back are not performing.
But to me, it raises the question: is it the system or the guy?
Who you know the difference is? It don't matter for Le'Veon. Because you know why?
He gonna get that
check. Got the check. He got the numbers. He got this. You could say whatever. That's the thing. System, guy, the thing that makes it different because position-wise, I'm going to be honest with you. Running back is the only position that's really system-proof. because it's all about your own ability to escape a man chasing your ass.
Yeah, it's a position
It's
about
a position about will and natural God-given ability more than any other position in football. It's about you have a guy that could block, and if somebody's not blocked, are you going to make a miss? That's what Le'Veon, there's no scheme for that. There's no system like, oh my God.
So how do you see this playing out, this decision by Le'Veon? How do you see it playing out in the future for the rest of the league and for other players?
I love him being a pioneer because
this does feel like the
he's
beginning of
being
something.
a pioneer because they all know what the NBA is doing. The NBA is a players' league. This is all about the NBA versus the NFL.
I mean, we just talked about Jimmy Butler. He's what they're calling a pre-agent at this point, making his own decisions.
This is exactly what the thing is. People don't really NBA and NFL players, that whole unit, it's close a unit. They know what the hell is going on. They see what those guys are doing. They're getting. So now the NFL players want that type of leverage. But the difference is the NFL is totally – this is what makes the NFL and NBA different, all right? The NBA is based on superstars.
Yeah.
It's based on their marketing. It's like every NBA elite stars –
It's a superstar player league.
It's a superstar league. The NFL, even on the commercial, you know what you see?
League. You see the
shield. The
exactly
NFL
right.
is about the shield. It's not about the players.
Yes.
So that's what makes it a little bit different. They're battling something that's bigger than a human.
Let me guess. Is it?
I'm not a football expert.
Is that what they're battling? Because that's my guess. Is that?
Even like I said, the NBA is structured so different that somehow the NFL players think they could be or do what the NBA could do.
Well, it's a numbers game. Like 55 guys in a team to 12, it changes the calculus when you've got, you got to pay 55 dudes as opposed to 12 and who you're playing on the floor at any given time and how they relate to each other. I see what you're saying, and I like that. So you think this is good for the players going forward?
I mean, it's a good precedent, but I don't think it's going to be something natural. It's not going to be habitual. Because it's not going to be trendy because the owners will cut this down.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So I don't see this really. I like the president. He's going to be remembered for doing this, but I don't see this happening often.
Yeah,
or even any time within the next 10, 20 years again.
You could bet the owners are going to find a way to make the Kirk Cousins and Le'Veon Bell situations go away in the near future.
Kirk Cousins was different. Kirk Cousins just played their system. That was different.
Well, that's what I mean. They found a flaw in that system. That system's going to change,
Kirk Cousins
too.
played their system. He stayed cool. He played their system and won.
All right. Well, speaking of Kirk Cousins, let's do a little quick preview here on Week 11 going forward.
Oh.
We got a couple of games going on here that we need to talk about for Week 11, and I know we're running out of time here in this segment. The first one is Rams Chiefs. Man, this is a heavyweight battle. It was supposed to be played in Mexico City, but the field was so bad that the NFL was like, no. So now it's being played in L.A. Even though L.A.'s on fire, it's apparently still better than the field in Mexico. But aside from all that, these are two powerhouse teams. This is a potential Super Bowl.
You talking about L.A. and Mexico. You could play in a fire in L.A. and it's better than what they're going to. Come on, bro.
Well, yeah, but so let's talk about the game here because this is a potential Super Bowl matchup. I mean, realistically, the Rams and the Chiefs, both teams cruising. Now, I don't believe in Andy Reid, but that's just me. What do you see happening in this game? Rams coming off, they just beat the Seahawks this week, right?
Yeah, another battle within the Seahawks, yeah.
Yeah, and then the Chiefs still rolling.
Beat the Cardinals.
It beat the crap out of the Cardinals.
Nah, the Cardinals covered, man. 26-14. Hey, they were supposed to beat the crap. Hold up, man. They covered, man. It was a 15-point spread, but they can't. Hey, thank you, AZ.
There you go. We'll take that. That's still beating the crap out of them, even though they covered. What do you see happening, Rams, Chiefs in L.A.?
Isn't this the game?
This is the game.
Hey, didn't the NFL just won? Like those son of a guns, bro. How do you always battle the NFL? Then they like, you know what? Bring that back to the States, man. Forget all that Mexico City nonsense and 100,000. You know what? Bring it to L.A. Because I know people gonna be in L.A.
They put 100,000 in the Coliseum if they want.
That Coliseum gonna be popping. The stars are gonna be coming out. Because that's the primetime Monday night game. Man, the NFL is amazing. This Shield is putting it on a show right now, man. And with all that said, I think we might see the first game that's the first NFL game that's going to be 79 to
yeah, right. Take the
78.
take the over.
We
in
might
this
get
one.
our first 200 combined. We might get an NBA score. We might get the old school NBA 1990s NBA score, man. You remember
This is
the
Knicks Pacers?
Yeah, the Alonzo Mourning and the Heat versus the Bulls. It might be 77 or 67, dog.
Charles Oakley grinding it out, making guys that score like 70 points. So who do you like in this game, Guru?
Man. You know, I thought Sean McVay is probably the third or fourth best offensive coordinator in the league. And he lost to one of the ones I believe is better than him in Sean Payton. And I think he's going to lose to the one that I think that's better than him as well in Andy Reid.
And I'm going to go the other way on this one, but my reasoning is not Andy Reid. I think, I always think if Andy Reid has a reason has a way to screw up a game, he will.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm taking the Rams in this one, and I'm taking it because it's in L.A. If this game is in Kansas City, that changes everything because that stadium is bananas and it's cold, and playing in Kansas City in November is a lot harder to go to. The Rams at home, instead of having to go to Mexico, I think these teams are fairly even match. I'm going to take the Rams in this one and the over.
And you know what? The Rams losing Cooper Kupp, the receiver with a torn ACL. I think that's going to make a really, really difference moving forward. It might not be this week, but moving forward, I think that's going to come. They're going to play a role.
All right, so we talked about Kirk Cousins before. We have the Vikings and the Bears this week in a battle of the NFC North.
The battle of the North, and we ain't talking about Canada.
No, this isn't Santa and the elves, man. This is
It's close enough to Canada.
So what do you like this? I mean, this should be a layup for the Vikings, right?
No, man. Why you going, Matt? What do you see what Chicago's doing over there, man?
I do.
Do you see what Chicago's doing? You see what Nagy's doing? You see what Matt Nagy is doing with the Chicago Bears? The Bears, man. What he's making Mitch Happy Feet Trubisky look like a Pro Bowl quarterback, man.
Happy Feet Trubisky.
Are you serious?
Now
With that said, yes, the Vikings coming out of a bye. The Vikings with Zimmer. The Vikings should be on their stride. And so what I call this is the IHOP season. Is the pancake season. Is the season of stacking. They got to start stacking W's right now. It's the stacking W's time. It's pancake season. Stack them cakes, baby. Stack them cakes.
Hashtag pancake season. So the Bears, of course, at the top of this division, a bit of a surprise. Is this where it changes? Is this where Minnesota claims this and runs with it?
I think this is the change. That's exactly what happened. The Bears going to be battling for the wild card, with the Seahawks, Falcons, teams like that, the last spot. But I don't see them winning this game.
All right, so then moving to the next one is another, what at the beginning of the season looked to be a tremendous matchup, possible NFC Championship game. Now is going to be a struggle, is the Eagles and the Saints. Now, the Eagles came off a very lackluster game against the Cowboys on Sunday night, which, by the way, if you listen to Trash Talk last week, I called. I was worried about that shit because those guys looked way too overconfident going into that game, and they got chumped by the Cowboys in this. That said, after they get chumped, the Eagles have tended to turn back and play better against other teams. What do you see happening in New Orleans this week when the Super Bowl champion Eagles head down to the hottest team in football?
The hottest, man. El Caliente, man. No lie. Representing. What's going to happen with this situation? You know what's going to happen? It's the end of EAGLES, Eagles. EAGLES. No. FEAGLES, Feagles, FEAG.
Well, this is a do or die game. This is a must win for the Eagles if they want to keep their season alive.
This is more than a must win.
2 games behind the Redskins. They lost to the damn Cowboys last weekend. Now they got 2 games left against the Redskins. They got more games against the Cowboys. They got, I think, 1 more against the Cowboys and games against the Giants. They could conceivably take the division, but with 2 games, Redskins got a 2-game advantage. This is I mean, this is all or nothing for the Birds this week,
The
right?
Birds going to come here desperate. They're going to come there desperate. They're going to come out with the bag of tricks. I mean, they're going to be like.
Philly.
I'm talking about from Philly to freaking the whole cereal with that rabbit tricks are for kids, man. I'm talking about they're going to do everything they can over there in Philly. You know, they might even put Jimmy Butler in a helmet, man. They do anything they can right now because they are in desperation mode. And with that said, I think Sean Payton going to take his foot and put that right there on Dougie P's neck with
right.
Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram, hey, he's on my fantasy too. Mark Ingram going to ball out with Alvin. You know about Mr. Kamara.
Mr. Kamara. I gotta tell you, man, that team, I can only imagine if Des Bryant doesn't get injured last week, which is a tremendous loss for them. If he doesn't get injured in practice last week, that team is fucking scary as it is now. With Des Bryant out there catching balls from Drew Brees, that's almost unstoppable. And for the rest of the league's sake, thank God for that injury. I mean, you never want to say that because, honestly, we want Des back. I want to see him play. We want him on the field. Mm-hmm. But, man, for the rest of the NFC in general, they needed that injury or else this team was just a juggernaut.
Dude, it didn't matter with Des or without Des.
You still think they got it?
Yeah, I mean, Des didn't make no impact.
Well, he doesn't play for chance yet.
No, if Des would have made an impact, they won't pick him up from the streets in week 10. Let me just rephrase this. If the team is going to make an impact, because there's 31 other teams that need an impact player, and they wait till week 10, trust me, Dez was just what you call the icing on the cake. Because you know what that was? That was going to be a shot at Jerry Jones, because we all know the issue with Sean Payton and the Dallas Cowboys with Jerry. He was going to get Jerry's boy because New Orleans go to Dallas in a couple weeks, and he was going to use Jerry's boy to give Jerry the finger. That's what Sean Payton was going to do. That's the unfortunate shit, because he had that in his whole time. I'm going to wait 2 weeks so I get Dez, get him in shape, so bust Jerry Jones' ass.
Cut him right
and
away.
Them Cowboys.
Cut him right away again. All right, Guru, we are running out of time here, but we got to get one more game here before we this super long segment one is your Washington Redskins
HTTR.
and the Tennessee Titans in a battle of
Houston
division
Texans.
leaders. The formerly Houston Texans, yes. The Redskins and the Houston Texans. What am I thinking? Tennessee Titans.
Yeah,
the Houston Texans.
They do exist. I'm like, remember. Showing your age,
right,
man.
The Oilers, the old Oilers. The Washington Redskins and the Houston Texans battling for playoff ceilings. Can the Redskins keep this up?
Woo. This is a matchup right here. This is a good matchup. I love it. Oh man. I don't even know I don't know how to feel about this. I'm so happy it's a home game, but I'm scared. Just like the way you're weary about the Cowboys, I'm worried about Deshaun Watson. I'm very weary about him because he's an unscripted type of player. And unscripted type of player gives problem to a lot of team and defenses, and that worries me.
So what do you think? Where are you putting your money on this one?
I mean, I had to put my money on a very close, tight game. And you know what? Since Ben ain't here right now, I'm betting with my heart.
That was your heart.
I'm betting with my heart, baby. My heart, baby.
There it
Both
is.
of them. I'm the only one that got two hearts. My heart is so big it spreads two sides.
Well, Guru, with that, speaking of Ben Carey, let's take a quick break, and we'll go into segment 2. We'll come back in segment 2. We got your call-outs and shout-outs from Week 10. We got our Bets with Ben segment with Ben Carey from the Currency Kings, and we got a 2-minute drill to end this thing out. How's that sound?
Trash Talk Radio.
TTR.